Welcome back to Supporting Position Spouses. I'm Kendra Harvey, and today I want to talk about something I saw on reality television that I genuinely cannot stop thinking about. Not because it was dramatic, not because it was messy, but because it was a mirror. And I think once I tell you what I saw and who I saw in it, you might not be able to stop thinking about it either. So I'm going to start by, this is how obsessed I was with this particular scene. Is I watched it the first time, I had a conversation with my daughter about it, and then I went back and I listened to it again and I transcribed. The conversation. I'm telling you, this is good stuff. Let me set the scene for you, because before I read what he said, he's doing some stuff. He's got these 3 little kids. He's got the baby all wrapped up. He's putting the baby down in the bassinet. He's getting the other 2 kids ready. He's saying prayers. And in his prayer, he's, bless mommy that she'll get home from her dance class. And then it cuts to him. And this is what he says. Lately, I find myself, after the kids are done, before she gets home, I find myself just sitting in the bathroom. It's just nice and quiet in there. And then, since I left medical school over a year ago, I have been putting her dreams and career first, and I have mixed emotions about it. Part of me is really excited for her because this is her dream. And then there is a part of me that is honestly homesick and just ready to come home. We're kind of just in survival mode right now. I just don't really know what I'm doing with myself. Okay. I want you to sit with both of those for a second before I tell you who said it. We got the bathroom, the quiet, not knowing what you're doing with yourself, survival mode. Does any of this sound familiar? Okay, maybe you have already guessed the show I'm talking about and who said this, but this was Zach from the Hulu reality show, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And I don't typically watch reality TV, but I remember when this first came on a couple of years ago or whenever it was, I watched it because my daughter had a friend who was asking questions. And for those of you who don't know, both Katie and myself, we are part of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, sometimes referred to as the Mormons. And this in no way depicts anybody that we know or the way that we live our lives. But enough with that. My point is, I watched it so I could help answer some questions. And so I was really excited about the fact that they had a couple on with children who Zach was getting ready to go to medical school. And so that first season I watched, I'm like, what is going to happen? And then I tuned in for the second season because I wanted to know what was going to happen. And I was like, oh, he's not going to go to medical school. He deferred it. Okay, that's great. And here we are. This is now season 4. And if anyone's curious, the episode I'm referring to is episode 7 in season 4. And I am honestly just like blown away by what happened. And so that is what we're going to talk about today. We are going to talk about this moment with Jen and Zach. Again, I am not the person that you should go to for any type of reality TV information. But in this case, stay with me. Let's go back to Zach. What you need to know about Zach: he got into med school. He deferred enrollment to support his wife Jen's career. And now in this episode, Jen is competing on Dancing with the Stars. She's working 14-hour days, 6 or 7 days a week. And Zach and their 3 children, very young children, are living in an Airbnb in Los Angeles, far from their home in Utah. And he's caring for 3 children under 3. Okay, so he's sitting in the bathroom. And here's the part I want you to hear. If Zach had not deferred, if he had gone to medical school the way he had planned, Jen would be living his exact reality right now. The 14-hour days alone with little kids, the homesickness, the identity loss, the quiet corner of the house where she could just breathe for a second, the I don't really know what I'm doing with myself, word for word, scene for scene. She would have been living what he is living, except it would have been 4 years of medical school, not 1 season of a dance competition. And then residency, and then fellowship, and then the attending life. So this show accidentally created the closest thing I have ever seen to a real life mirror for the physician spouse experience. And what it revealed is something I want to sit with today. Zach has been doing this for a few months. Now, I want you to think about how long you have been doing this. My guess is it's not months, maybe years. Maybe you are still sitting in your version of that bathroom, or maybe it's a long shower or the car in the driveway before you go inside, or the errand when you finally get a moment by yourself that takes longer than it should need to, and you've not named it yet. And this is not because the weight is lighter than his. It's not because you are more capable of carrying it, but because somewhere along the way, you were handed a story about what this was supposed to look like. And that story said, this is what you do. This is what love looks like. This is temporary. This is the deal. Be grateful. Hold it together. Now, our friend Zach didn't have that story. So the same experience registered as a problem to be solved rather than a condition to be endured. And here is the question that I keep coming back to. If Zach had gone to medical school, if Jen had been the one in the bathroom, would he have noticed her sacrifice this quickly? Would it have registered as a problem to be solved? Or would it have been the expected thing, the invisible thing, the thing that nobody names because it's just how it goes? Now, later in this episode, Zach and Jen go on a date. It is the first real conversation they've had in weeks, and Zach names everything. He misses her. He feels like being a wife has taken a back burner. Those are his words. He feels unseen. He is not sure this Hollywood life is something he can sustain. Okay, it's sounding familiar. And then the camera cuts to Jen. This time she's alone talking to the camera, and she says this. It's definitely discouraging hearing Zach talk about how hard it's been supporting me in this journey. Because the past 5 years of our marriage, that's what I've been doing for him. 5 years. She knew, she has always known, the weight was real, and she felt it, and she carried it. And now she's sitting across from her husband at a dinner they barely had time for. She's exhausted. She's trying to stay on a national television show, and she's absorbing his disappointment. I want to be very careful here because this is not about Zach being wrong. His feelings are real. His experience is real. This is not a story about who has it harder. So here is what I want to ask you. And I want you to actually sit with this, not just move past it. Not the why did he notice faster, but this. What made it so easy for you not to notice at all? Obviously, I'm talking about in your own life, not in the reality world of Jen and Zach. Because I know the women I work with, I know that many of you, most of you, do know somewhere underneath the adapting and the overfunctioning and the grateful performance, you know it isn't okay. You know the weight is real. You know something has been lost. You just don't say so. Zach said so in months. He named it, brought it to the table, and started working towards a resolution. And I think part of what makes this so uncomfortable to watch is not that he noticed faster. It's that watching him notice makes it harder to pretend I haven't noticed or that you haven't noticed too. I live this. We're celebrating 22 years married together. My husband is a neurosurgeon. We've got 5 kids. Every season of medicine, I waited through medical school and residency and fellowship and that first attending job. I waited for the feeling to change when the external markers did. And when it didn't, I told myself I should be further along. I should be more grateful. I should be fine by now. I have everything I want. Survival mode doesn't leave when the circumstances change. It has to be untangled deliberately from the inside. You can't untangle it until you're willing to name it, even a fraction as quickly as Zach did. Okay. Whew. If this episode landed somewhere real for you, if something in you recognized the bathroom, the 5 years, the guilt at the dinner table, I want you to just sit with that. You don't have to do anything with it today. You don't have to fix anything or decide anything. Just notice what came up. That noticing is the beginning of everything. If you want to go deeper, my free guide, Life After Survival Mode, is in the show notes. It is a private reflection guide, not a to-do list. Just a place to start asking better questions. And if you're ready to do the actual work, my calendar is open. The link is there too. Thank you for being here and for indulging me with this bonus episode this week, talking about reality TV, the secret lives of Mormon wives, or maybe we'll title this episode, The Secret Lives of Doctors' Wives. Thanks for being here. I'll see you Tuesday.